Let's just look around, I guess.
Is there money to be made?
As it should be.
The governor's palace is opulent. The guild finishes and plaster are updated regularly and frequently. It seems too frequently even for buildings situated on the coast.
Rush not dawdle.
Thing here? Thing or anyone? No. Ah. An old servant. Yeah, you do look old. Who are you? Hearing your footsteps, the elderly servant grabs an injector and steps it into his arm. Okay. The area around the needle immediately starts turning black. You're too late, Biatstox. I'm the master of my own fate. But when he gets a better look at you, the man drops the injector in astonishment and seems poised to prostrate himself on the floor before you. It's you, your lordship. The God Emperor must have brought you here. I beg you, help the rebels and save Janus. Did he just kill himself? Probably. Yikes. He doubles up, hugging himself and is wrecked by coughing that leaves his lips wet with blood. Forgive me, your lordship. If only I'd known it was you. My eyes deceived me. We have little time now, but I swear I'll tell you everything. Looking closely at the old man, the tech priest utters, nerve toxin. The inevitable cessation of vital functions is expected in no more than 60 seconds. Sudden clicks emitted by the visor indicate an ongoing pic recording. God, Pasqal is so horrible. Absolutely no I think Pasqal probably is like the least compassionate character. Which makes sense, being a machine, basically. But I mean, even Heinrix has those moments where you can read that he would like to act differently, but he doesn't. But Pasqal seems all the way into that. Say whatever it is you want to say, and be quick about it. In the name of the Golden Throne, your lordship, show mercy on the humble workers, the souls of Janus. Save them. The sense of Yet, the untouchable governor and leader of the nobility, is creating something monstrous behind closed doors. She uses the Imperium's interest as a smokescreen and purpose to be a scholar, but her actions are poisoning our planet. Did you know that the settlement that failed to pay their due tithes on time have been allowed to pay with people instead? They even deliver them to an order. Sometimes old folks, sometimes children. He lowers his voice to a whisper and leans toward you. I've seen those people. I've seen them being delivered to the estate. And then they are never seen or heard from again. They go into secret rooms and they don't come out again, your lordship. Ever. Peasants who were taken to Yrliet 5 to serve House Osalia were never seen or heard from again either. They became loyal servants and toiled for the good of our great dynasty. Why should they ever return to their filthy, squalid abodes? Wow. The old servant lets out a moan. The dark stain on his arm seems to creep through his veins, and to his arms and neck are a latticework of black. The servant's breath quickens and becomes irregular. Poor guy. What secret rooms? Hidden chambers, deep within the palace. I've never been inside, thankfully. The servants who are allowed in, the ones the governors trust, they change. She changes them, pretties them up, defiles them. You accuse the rogue traitors appointed governor of Heresy. If your words are false, they themselves are tantamount to heresy. But if what you say is true, if it's true, then your sacrifice will be to your credit, my good man. Argenta utters the last words with impassioned conviction. There has to be heresy around here somewhere. I swear, I'm not lying. Pray for me, my holy sister. For me and for Janus. The servant shakes and coughs violently. I'm not sure I last long enough to answer all your questions. Maybe you can still be saved. No, don't waste your time on somebody who's as good as dead already. I depart this world happily knowing that I'm free from the clutches of that monster sitting on the governor's throne. The old man starts to convulse, indicating that he's close to death. He raises his already unseeing eyes to you. Your lordship, if you'll permit a dying man to make one last request, don't tell anyone that I was the one who unlocked the doors. If you do... Yeah, he's responsible. They'll go after my family, my home. I mean, why punish his family for his deeds? I will keep your secret. Ah, damn it! I picked the wrong one. Oh well. Please, save us. Save Janus. The servant rests violently and collapses on his side, wrecked with convulsions. Oh well.
I always keep my options
Oh
open.
hey, is that our servo skull, which we extracted? I think so. Nice. Just a
Keep your
servitor.
wits about you.
Security officer. I think it will be very interesting to talk to Yrliet. Oh. Vincelex. Or a good technopriest, I guess. Let me just open this chest right beside you. No one hiding here. Vincelex, who are you? Draped in a red cloak, the Magus body barely looks human. Wires, tubes, and metal manipulators turn him into a whimsical machine, where implants hide his face behind a sinister mask. The tech priest intermittently dictates something in Technolingua to the server skull floating next to him, but at your approach, he falls silent and offers a reserved bow. Greetings, your lordship. Lex Mechanic Vincelex. How may I serve you? Pasqal and the Lex Mechanic exchange a thrill of binary greetings. The series of sounds issued by Vincelex sounds much longer and more differential than those of Pasqal. It would be so cool if there was an option to actually learn it and then get to know what they are talking about. But well. What do you do here on Janus? The tech priest's mechanical voice comes from the speaker on his neck. By the order of the Adeptus Mechanicus, I've been entrusted with the management of the Adeptus Administratum in order to catalog agronomic data and analyze information about the planet during the process of subjugating it to the will of the Imperium. Be blessed, tech brother. Your diligence and the diligence of those like you turns anarchy into order and bestows classification to knowledge. One of Pasqal's mechadendrites slightly touches the Lex Mechanic's body. The tech priest bows respectfully in return, clearly a little startled. Aww. Alright, so tell me about Janus. Initializing report. The planet's soil possesses a unique composition suitable for the re-engineering of the planet and the mass production of foodstuffs. Significant cultivation of the Eastern Hemisphere with the aim of improving production processes and logistic operations. Traces of xenoactivity that do not pose an immediate threat to ongoing operations. Undesirable pathologies of flora and fauna have been noted, which may pose a threat in the short term. That doesn't sound good. What's pathologies in the flora and fauna? The genetics and chemical pathologies, your lordship. Harmless species mutate and become aggressive, while plants change their chemical composition and become poisonous. This is happening more and more often, and if you do not take action, the ecosystem of the world will irreparably disrupted. Interesting. Well, let's see if Governor Viet is actually taking care of that. The changes may be artificial, with the possibility being considered that someone is manipulating the ecosystem to reduce our living space. Not at all, Venerable Magus. Our tech comrades from the Magus biologists are humble workers, not warriors. They could not have come up with the thought of such a militant nature. The mind must be open to all forms of knowledge. I order you to commence a check. In the event that your account of the indolence of their minds is confirmed, I will petition for the appropriate penance. Oh boy. Interesting. It is often what seems to be insignificant anomalies like these that lead to greater troubles. Yeah, well, always the unforeseen. How's the governor dealing with the undesirable pathologies? I've analyzed the genome of the affected species, and I'm currently developing suppressor genes to make the planet's organisms resistant to pathology. But so far, I've not been able to solve the problem. Further exploration of the planet would perhaps speed up the processes, but the administrative apparatus has imposed a ban on expeditions that are not directly aimed at improving production. Great. Sounds rather short-sighted, to be honest. Traces of Xeno activity? According to data obtained during the initial survey, ruined structures of non-human origin were noted in different sectors of the planet, but I did not have the administrative capacity to study them all in more detail. For now, I must defer the quest for knowledge. The Lex Mechanic speaks the last words with distinct envy, his eyes fixed on Magus Human. How many servants of the Adeptus Mechanicus are there on the planet? According to the data stored on my cogitator, all infrastructure nodes for food harvesting and processing have their own contingent of technomats. The total number amounts of 253. Correction. Based on the latest data, the figure is 211 units. I guess in fighting with the rebels, they also technopriests dying. How are things with you and your fellows? The current situation on the planet is assessed as stable. The progress of the prospect is assessed as encouraging. Okay. We will speak later. Stay optimistic. Really nice clothes. Really like this metallic shine. Such an important occasion. A visit from a rogue trader, marred by such an unpleasant incident.
I always have a backup plan.
Yeah, we have a Yrliet. Let's just save in case Heinrix wants to greet her.
Yrliet Lenevis greets you, Elantark.
Ah, nice. Really nice, soft voice. And its voice, I really like it. The bizarre creature before you only vaguely resembles a typical human. An elongated body, slender limbs, pointed features. Every aspect of its appearance is unnatural and alien. The creature turns its head to you. And I'd say, with this description, it is quite clear Yrliet is a human and not a mutant.
Regrettable news. This creature is not a mutant as the locals assumed, but a representative of the Eldari, one of the myriad enemies of humanity. You should not trust this creature. Do not communicate with it any longer than necessary.
Heinrix tosses out some words in a strange language. There's a hint of musicality to it, but the interrogator's rendering is harsh and off-putting. After meeting the gaze of the unknown being, Heinrix turns to you. Xenos, Eldari, an ancient and highly advanced alien race that once dominated the galaxy. Yeah, and as you, Marazhai, say, also sometimes referenced as the Space Elves, or the Eldar. I think just Game Workshop changed it from Eldar to Eldari sometime. Eons ago, the Eldari divided into different factions and split away into distant parts of the galaxy. Even though they are small in number, the Eldari remain a significant force due to their advanced technology, devious minds, and innate psychic abilities.
There is no need to mutilate my language, monkey. I speak yours well enough to converse with Elantark without a translator. And since you have discerned my path, I will be direct in my speech.
I love it that they call, like, basically anything they deign to be, like, beneath them, monkey, which sounds just like monkey.
My soul is nothing kin to yours. Your kind call us Xenos, as if we are all as one. I came here to protect the Lilithon by assisting the governor against her enemies. Will you hear me, or be blinded to sense by your precepts?
I mean, yeah, two big questions. Why is she helping the humans around here? And what the heck is the Lilithan? And hey, part of the word Lilithan is Ethan. Fun fact, they didn't know we evolved from monkeys. If they did, they'd never let us live it down. True. Then again, what did they evolve from? Oh, and being dogmatic, we could just attack her. And of course, we're trying to break the conventions a little bit and going to talk to her. I will speak with you, Yrliet, Lenevis, but keep your hands so I can see them. Which is the nicest thing you can say.
Reckless.
No.
Must I remind you, Master Van Kalox, that the warrant endows rogue traders with the sacred right to have dealings with Xenos when necessary?
Thank
That
you.
exceptional memory of yours seems to have let you down.
I have banished the shadow of doubt from your thoughts regarding my nature. Now you will answer my question. Why have you sought me out?
Yrliet inclines her head by an infinitesimal amount. They were created by the Old Ones over 70 million of years ago to fight in the war in Haven. Who are the Old Ones? What the war in Haven? But interesting, artificially created, basically. So, you're the governor's mysterious helper?
I am Elantark. My hand parried the death promised to the ruler of these people, and I aided you in battle against the Lost Ones.
What is Alantark? But why are you helping the governor?
This world is in distress. I wish to protect it from unnecessary suffering.
Or is Lilithan just their word for this world? Why do you call me Alantark?
Because that is what you are. Elantark means stranger from the darkness amidst the stars. You descended on flame-winged machines in a dark time when the air of the planet is soaked in blood and pain. Will you be the one to bring peace to the Lilithan?
I think it's their word for the planet. How did you come to be on Janus?
The world you call Janus was once created by the will of my kin. I have far more right to be on the Lilithan than any of you.
I think... yeah. She sounds quite arrogant. Do you know who's behind the uprisings on the planet?
There is a malevolence here that drives your kin down the path of violence.
That's not really an answer. The Old Ones are the original species in the galaxy. They created to help the evolution of many species, including us. The Eldar, the Slan, the Takaro, the Orcs, and possibly the Tyranids. They also created the older webway. Are the Old Ones still around? What do you know about the Rank and Fire rebels?
Only that they threaten the established order. There is much risk to this world should the ruler die.
Awareness succeeded. Yrliet's face is unreadable, but you detect a strange tension in her voice, as though she's choosing her words carefully. I spoke to the Magus in charge of operations on the planet. He says something's gone wrong with this world. There's spontaneous mutations, animal attacks. Maybe you have something to say about that?
The Lilithan is expressing her wrath.
She pauses.
For centuries, this world has resisted the brutality inflicted upon it by soulless machines and unmindful creatures. But what the machine man told you, that is something else. Something more frightening. The planet is fighting an evil that has taken root in its very cradle.
Yikes. The Old Ones were immortal and greatly
psychically powerful, possibly as powerful as minor chaos gods. That sounds very powerful.
You know, your answers are not particularly helpful.
But you are not asking for help, Elentark. You are merely asking questions, the answers to which are either unimportant or wreathed in shadow. Explore this place. Speak to those who know.
That's why I'm talking to you.
A simple task for you, and an insurmountable challenge for me, since my very appearance provokes fear and suspicion. When you learn anything, tell me. Perhaps then my answers will be helpful to your search.
Ooh, nice, we can ask her to join.
If you want, you can join me. None of the locals would dare to look askance at you in the rogue trader's presence.
So be it.
It was easy.
I will go with you.
Yrliet's silent for several seconds, her gaze fixed on something beyond you. Slowly, drawing out her words, she replies.
With all due respect, are you sure this is the right decision?
Yep.
We know nothing about this Xenos, or why she has wormed her way into the governor's confidence. As far as I can tell, she isn't especially keen to help us, and yet, for some obviously dark reason, she has decided to take part in our investigation.
My judgments and choices are for me alone, monkey. If uniting with your master will bring peace to the Lilithon, then it is the true path. Do not get in my way if you value your next breath.
Oh boy. The Necrons asked them for mortality, they refused and started a war, but the old ones were too powerful, so the Necrons found the Catan, basically near omnipotent creatures from the dawn of time. They gave them bodies, and they in turn turned the Necrons into machines, consuming their souls. Yikes. Well... the story about the Necrons, weren't they like on a planet which caused them to mutate like quite a lot? And they had like very, very short lifespans? If I remember correctly.
You have not yet spent enough time among humans if you think threats will dispose me more favorably toward you. The decision is yours, rogue trader. But let me be clear. I will terminate your pet Xenos at the first sign of her non-compliance.
Oh boy.
I am ready, Elentark. Let us go forth.
What a party! Yrliet is a Xenos, one of the Assyriani. She's a ranger who follows the path of the outcast, and her skills in ranged combat are without equal. Yrliet does not use human weapons, and can wear either Eldari armor or, if she learns the required feature, Drukhari armor. But its unique ability instantly ends her turn. However, at the start of her next turn, she will make an attack that always hits its target. Yeah, I'm sorry Abelard, but you have to stay behind. Of course, I mean, Heinrix, Argenta, Cassia will definitely stay in the party, and we kinda need Pasqal due to skills. Oh gosh, quite a lot of level ups. And you're an operative. We're just gonna transform you into basically yet another assassin? Or bounty hunter. I think bounty hunter could be cool. Yeah. Yeah. Let's go for the bounty hunter. A bounty. Look what she can learn as well. Penetrating sight. And my sight gains additional armor penetration equal to perception. That's quite a lot, 60%. And my sight gains additional dodge reduction equal to ballistic skill. Wild Hunt. Additional AP. Ballistic skill or perception. go with the ballistic skill to 60 and then go for perception. Oh, and she's quite good at awareness and lore Xenos. Let's see. They nearly wiped out, the Necrons nearly wiped out the Old Ones, so the Old Ones created the Eldar and the Orcs to fight the Necrons. They were still too powerful, but due to all the death, the warp predators erupted from the warp and killed all but one Old One, and sent the Necrons into stasis, and with no one to fight the Orcs, developed into what they are today. What a mess. The Eldar survived and became the dominant species in the galaxy until Slaanesh. And yes, the Necrons lived on a radiation-heavy world and died young. What a fun origin story. What talents to take? That one. Or perception. Yeah, I'm just gonna build her quite similar to the second part, well, second half kind of Argenta. The last Old One was consumed by Slaanesh, we think, and split itself into these weird black balls. What weird black balls? The balls. It's a shot. Spoils. Awareness, I think. That one is really handy to have high. Ballistic skill to 60. We go for Drukhari weapon proficiency. Let's go for that. Might be handy later on. Alrighty.
Is there money to be made? There's no way.
You interrupted my thoughts.
Charming. Another wordly silence reigns under the arches of the gazebo. Perhaps a sound barrier generators mounted in the dome. Looks like such a nice world. The ivy covering the archways gives off a delicate, heady fragrance, although you do not see any flowers.
Always keep your eye on the prize.
Nobles.